Hello again, my YouTube viewers and fellow fans of Ben 10 or whatever you like. If you're just watching me just cause we're back with another video. It's been some time, obviously, but it's been even more time since I looked at hot takes. Now today, we're gonna be looking at hot takes again, but this time we're gonna be looking at Alien for his hot takes. And this one I'm really excited about. Because if you remember, or if you keep up with me on my socials, I say that Alien Force doesn't get a lot of attention because it doesn't. People, it's kind of like the middle child essentially. It's like, the middle child, if he acts up, it's cool. If he's a good kid, he's cool. You don't really pay no attention to him because who the fuck cares about the middle child? And that's kind of what Alien Force is, at least how I see it. So today we're gonna give the middle child some love, and we're gonna see what the folks have to say about one of my favorite middle childs, Alien Force. Our first hot take, we got a lot to go through today, so I want to start it off real quick here. We got Design with another take. He's in the last one. He gave us a take in the last video. He has two this time, actually. He has two saying, we'll start with the one I want to get the way first. His first take says, the Alien Force 10 is better than the Classic 10. And in my humble opinion, I agree. Now, I agree. I made a tweet about this kind of like same topic, but I was more so specifying that the Alien Force 10 is just a lot more like usable. Because we get a lot of, even though Ripjaw is very absent in the classic series, he doesn't get a lot of burn. Wild Mutt gets some burn. Gray Matter is really only used as like a gag. Versus everybody in the Alien Force 10 besides Alien X essentially gets their chance to shine. Like, there's never a chance where you're wondering, where's Brainstorm? Brainstorm has a few appearances, more than probably like Ripjaw's got, and it also just has it has a cool cast too. Goop is fucking cool. Swamp Fire's, everybody likes Swamp Fire. Chroma Stone, Echo, it in terms of usability, it automatically clears. But even if you want to go like band for band, which alien is cooler than this alien, I think it still might edge them out. But then again, they have Humongosaurus, so I gotta disagree, honestly. I actually scratched that, I gotta disagree. Humongosaurus sold it. His next take, though, says, the Alien Force finale is the best series finale out of the four. And these pictures are from the season 3 finale, which is something I don't agree with. I don't really like the season 3 finale. It has some good moments, like, him fighting Bilgass at the end, him talking to Asmith, but other than that, bro, I don't really remember else what happens. I know he fights Albedo, ultimate Humongosaur, and he loses Geometrix, but it doesn't have any staying power for me, really. Like World of the Worlds, I think that's the season 2, part 2, Alien Force season 2 ender. That has some staying power, right? That's probably like the best 2-parter out there, like objectively, if I'm not being biased. That 2-parter is like really fucking good. And we still talk about it. It's when Ben 10 probably hit his peak storytelling wise, essentially. While I forgot the final battle, that's what they call it. Is it? Whatever. The season 3 finale, it's cool. It's really just cool. I watch it for the spectacle, He gets the Ultimatrix in that. The first Ultimates are shown. And then, his talk with Asmith. That's really all I would ever watch that for. So, gotta disagree. Our next take is coming from Main Majin saying, Julie and Ben were always mid. Oh, he has a few here. So, his first one said, Julie and Ben were always mid. I'm gonna go through these like in order. Julie and Ben were always mid. Disagree. The reason you may say this, though, because as time went on, their relationship just became just like needless bickering. They don't really act as a couple once like early Alien Force gets like past, because Ben turned into a dick and ended the relationship just them butting heads. So I understand why you say that, but I still think Julie is like a low-key endgame. I don't got a problem with Kai, but I think Julie was low-key endgame. They have a nice it feels real, essentially, like especially when they go on like the pure date, like everything there feels real, bro. You get what I'm saying? So I don't really, I disagree with that one. Kevin got his ass kicked a little too much is his next take, and I low-key agree. I agree, Not even because I can recall a lot of times he got his ass kicked, but mainly because when he lost to Cash and Cash like dogged that nigga, bro, I thought that was kind of OD. Because granted, Cash in that episode, he had to take it on armor and shit, which was probably cool. You know, the power scaling with a fight. I don't know, you know, but I don't think Kevin should have got washed like that. Like that was kind of OD. As for some other times, I mean, Kevin himself, like besides like Ultimate Kevin, doesn't really have too many standout fight scenes either. So I can't even defend him because I don't really, other than like he fought Ragnarok. I mean, but he's fought like he doesn't really have any standout fights in my opinion that I can't remember off the top of my head right now. So I might have to agree with you on that one. It's not a bad take. I don't even think that might be a hot take. I just think that's a take nobody ever thinks about, but that's a good one. And Gwen and Kevin, while good, was rushed. I agree. I think everybody can like low-key agree now that their relationship was kind of rushed, but it still worked out. Three really good takes. Well, first one's ass. Two really good takes, man. Two really good takes. Next takes come from Truth and Justice, or Project Ash, saying the Alien Force Omnitrix design was kind of eh. Now, this is a take that I definitely can't agree with. I can't agree with this one at all, my boy, because I love it. I've been on record to say that I love when the watch looks like a fucking like actual watch. Like the classic series design, while it's iconic to me, and I don't think it's bad. Do I have something on my hood? I'm cooked, bro. While the classic design is not my ideal Omnitrix design, it's not bad, obviously. But my ideal like Omnitrixes are like the OV one, the Alien Force one, where they're more like slimmer, like for example, a lot of the times in the classic series, Ben's excuse for this big ass watch on his arm is, I want it from somewhere. It tells time. My nigga, you are wearing a fucking you are wearing the thickest watch on your fucking hand. Where did you get that from? Nigga, the shit lights up. Where did you get this from? This is not a watch, pal. I always thought that was the most bullshit excuse ever. Cause if a nigga told me that he won that bitch from somewhere, the arcade or some shit, bro, you did not have 6,000 tickets that day to get that shit. Cause that shit looks expensive, bro. Meanwhile, the Alien Force Omnitrix, like, it looks like a watch that you like, it helps him hide his identity to me. I'm thinking about this like a little bit too like literal, but that's why I like it, bro. It's like it looks like a wristwatch. A very advanced wristwatch, like an Apple Watch. Same thing with the Alien OB one. It's like an Apple Watch. I kind of like that. Other than the big bulky ass design of like the classic Ultimatrix, the Ultimatrix god awful design. I don't like it. So I gotta disagree with you there, pal. That's a bad take. It's a bad take. Our next take comes from Nighttimus. If I'm saying that right. It's a pretty lengthy one. They say Kevin only really having material absorption and not the same level of absorption as he did in the classic series is pretty lame. He shouldn't need to use Ben's watch to get buffs, but in bad situations he could carry rocks off of heat blast and gain his powers like classic Kevin did. So if you guys are kind of lost in what he's trying to say, he's basically saying Kevin should be able to do more than just absorb like solid materials, because that's what I think the least solid material we see Kevin absorb is the rubber off his tire in the Alien Next episode that Alien Force has. That's like as far as he goes. He never absorbs anything where he can like throw projectiles or like anything akin to what he did in classic. You know, like you said, like the picture shows that he's like half heat blast, like so he was shooting fire. Majority of Kevin's powers in Alien Force is just I absorb big solid metal, boom, hammer fist, boom, boom, boom. And I have to agree with this take. It takes away a lot of Kevin's versatility, and let alone like visual like flair when it comes to fight scenes, because he's really just smacking Punch Man. Really, he's smacking Punch Man, really, because that's all he does. Really, he just smacks and punches shit with his big metal fucking like wrist arm. I think he's doing it behind me right now. Oh no, he's doing some other shit. But yeah, I mean, like, it would have been cool to see him, like, you know, be able to absorb, even if he's absorbing shit. Like, if he absorbed Chroma Stone and had his material, like, it'd be visually cooler and it'd be something new. And that's kind of how Kevin's powers work, if I'm not mistaken. So, I gotta agree with you, bro. Gotta agree with you. Next take comes from The Hat Always Wins, saying that the art is a massive downgrade over the original series, and the aliens' more uniform designs aren't good. Hat's a really good friend of mine, by the way. Shout out Hat. And it really shot you out because I really do agree with your take. Now, probably not to the magnitude that you're like putting it out there as. A massive downgrade is kind of crazy. But recently, I have been saying that I don't like Ben's design in the UAF era. Now, that is bad. It's iconic. But in terms of like his overall look, he looks like very boring. You know, clean cut. Just if it wasn't for the jacket, he would just be a regular white kid. Really. And in the classic series, you know, Ben had a little bit of drip. You know, he had them big ass cargo pants. The nigga was busting his soccer shoes on his fit, soccer jersey. He had his design had a lot more personality. Where in the UAF, his design is just I wore my jacket. I wear my green jacket. That's really what it is. That's really all his look gives. But as for the art style in general, I think it's fine. It's giving it gives like DCAU vibes, like DC animated series vibes. It's really like it's a serious art style to match the show's tone. I don't mind it. I never mind it. But if we have to compare, I think it is a downgrade from the classic, and it's an upgrade and it's upgraded due to Omniverse. I'm trying to say Omniverse's style is better, basically. As for the aliens, I do agree too. I like when the aliens, because almost every alien in the UAF era, besides maybe a few, are all naked, and the Omnitrix logo is in the center of their chest. Now, when you think about it, it's not that big of a deal. But when you look at like someone like Diamond Head from the classic in his half black, half white outfit, the Omnitrix was right here, or like Stinkfly when this shit was right here, or like Omniverse, how it gives a lot of them like outfits that aren't too bad. Essentially, like you realize just how like kind of weird it is that most of these things are naked, and that they all like it leaves a lot to be desired once you really like sit back and look at it and like compare, because it's like all these designs are like samey in a way. I kind of like when they're more like outlandish, you know, like how Jerry Rig is a naked fucking red demon, but in Omniverse he's a fucking, what is he? He's like an aviator. I think that's what it was with the hats, the goggles and shit. It's cool. It's cool. I like when they do shit like that. Other than just making them a fucking the species but naked. Essentially, it adds more variety to both the alien and just the show. So I agree. Good take, bro. Good take. This next one comes from my good friend Des10 saying, Season 3 of Alien Force isn't all that bad. It has a rocky start, but there's more good episodes than bad. Now, off the top of my head, I'm trying to really think if there are more good episodes than bad. Okay, first off, I'm gonna say that there are, because there aren't that many bad episodes in Alien Force to begin with. Other than, like, Season 3 has probably the most, with Simple, and then the fucking poop episode where he eats the shit, the gold shit. But other than that, yeah, I think just the main reason Season 3 has such a bad stigma is just because of the jump in Ben's personality. That's really probably what it is, and it's like the jump from Season 2 to Season 3 is so crazy. More serious Ben, more serious plot. Like, everything was like way more serious, mature. Then the Season 3 comes around, Ben's an asshole, he's even everybody's so jokey. Like, it was just a tonal shift that was like, whoa. But a lot of, like, it's still really enjoyable. Even though the series finale is my favorite, or I think it's the best, it's still enjoyable to watch. That's still an enjoyable two-parter to watch. We have the episode where Ben pretends to be evil.
Oh, it's not safe. Not for Grandpa Max. Not for you.
You got the Wrath episode. Like, yeah, there are some hitters in there, bro. Season 3 is still worth the watch, and I think it's not as bad as people try to make it out to be. I think what happened to the season is bad, but the overall product is still good. There's still a good product that was made, in my opinion. So yeah, I agree. Good take, my good friend. Our next take comes from I kind of cut out your ad, but it looks like T Meta. his username. Free Palestine, by the way, of course. Free my niggas down in Palestine. Free Palestine. So it's backwards. Their take says, I think the early concepts look 10 times better than the final product. I'm gonna flash a lot of these like images throughout of this segment, basically, like me talking about this take, because I 100% agree with you. There are little things that I disagree with in the concept art. Obviously, they probably would have changed the look of the Omnitrix. That's my biggest pet peeve. I don't like how the Omnitrix looks. But besides that, this gives like a really, really like Teen Titans like aesthetic. And I think that would have worked so well for Ben 10. I've said like a lot, like if the show ever comes back, we need an anime-esque type animation style, similar to like what Teen Titans did, similar to like what a bunch of like animated shows go for now. I'm blanking on like what's been some new ones, because this concept art is like, it's really unique and diverse, especially from what we got. Like I said, reading Hat's take, it's like, it's really like not basic. It's basic but effective, essentially. Like, it's not bad. Basic doesn't mean it's bad, but it's just like, it's like really like, you know, it matches the tone of the show, which I understand why they did it. But something like this, like action scenes, you know, I like to look at Gwen in this picture. Kevin's like a little chopped, but you know, he still looks cool. And a bunch of these alien designs are unique too. Like Swamp Fire is really cool. I really like Chroma Stone. Chroma Stone has a really cool design. And even though Ben has like his still like church boy look, it's the subtle features that make it like a little tolerable, essentially. So yeah, I have to really agree with this take, and I'm kind of upset that we never get to see Ben 10 in a style like this, because I would have ate this shit up as a kid and still now, bro. So yeah, this is probably the best take in the video so far. Best take. This take comes from Thunder Devil, saying the Alien X debut episode was mid. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this one, other than saying I agree, and a little bit of like, I'm not gonna say too much, because I'm gonna make a video on the Alien X debut episode, because recently a guy over on Twitter, you probably know him if you keep up, you know, he's been rewatching Ben 10. He had some comments on the episode that really like kind of like sparked it in me, like, yeah, this episode is kind of fucking ass. Not like ass like it's bad, like, man, like they fumbled the concept. Like it I want to talk about it in depth, is what I'm saying. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on it here, other than saying I agree, and just that they fumbled it, bro. Like, they hyped him up so bad to just him do one thing, and the rest is just the whole bickering session. Like, it's him stuck as Alien X after he does one thing, and then he just goes as Swamp Fire, and everybody just forgets he exists, and he never shows up. I don't think he's even mentioned. Probably like I don't think he ever gets a mention in Alien Force. Like, Alien X just disappears after his debut episode, essentially. So yeah, I agree. The episode's probably a little worse than mid, but like I said, one of my next few videos are going to be me discussing X plus Ben equals, X plus 2 equals Ben. So I'm going to talk about that episode sooner or later. Next take comes from Slim_Daddy. Pause. He has a few. Well, no, he actually has, this is like one come. Okay, I'm tripping. Something I'll never defend is the push to make everything related to aliens. Gwen could have stayed a straight up sorceress. Kevin could have stayed a mutant. And I hear this a lot with people. They don't like how everything became, they retconned a lot of shit, making Gwen and Anodite an alien magic girl, basically. And then Kevin's powers being all alien, Osmosian, yeah. Especially because they never do anything with that either. They don't do anything with Osmosians. But honestly, I kind of agree. I mean, Ben 10 is a show, obviously, heavily has to do with aliens, so I understand why to give more cohesion, essentially. But I think it just would have been a lot cooler if, like, Ben 10 had aliens, plus, on Earth, it still has its own shit going on, like fucking mutants, like those fucking crocodile and that porcupine nigga from the wrestling episode. Just little shit like that, like to keep it fresh or not off world, especially come Omniverse, because they go off world a lot in Omniverse. And most of that is due to like Alien Force making everything so alien based. This is a take I agree with, but I understand. Like I'm in the middle. I see why people don't like it, but it doesn't bother me that much. I only get bothered when I speak about Kevin, because they don't do anything with the Osmosian plot other than bring Agagor in. But Agagor doesn't, like, him and Kevin don't connect until like Kevin kicks his ass when he absorbs Ben Omnitrix. Like, that's just like much, like, two people from the same species that's like extinct, I think, and they don't talk at all, really. Like, that's when I agree that this is like, you know, that they shouldn't have did this. But other than that, I could give less of a fuck, really. So, I agree with your take, and it's a good take, though. That's what I'll say. Next take comes from Kari. I'm not saying that wrong because your ad got cut off here. We have a lot to go through here. Gwevin is overrated as fuck and completely forced. Disagree, my dear friend. I don't think it's not overrated at all, and I don't think it's really forced. I think if you say forced because like, oh yeah, trio, boy, girl, you know, who, yeah, ship them. I think while it was rushed, I think there's a lot there that makes it make sense, essentially. And even more so because they're teenagers too. I don't know. Like, teenagers just get crushes and who knows, but you know, they had a crush on each other and boom, maybe they just work. I don't know. I don't think it's forced at all. Overrated. So that's a bad take. The next take is Gwen should have remained a magic user instead of alien grandma bullshit. I just talked about this. I agree. It would have been cooler if she was just straight up magic motherfucker. And if magic wasn't, yeah. Well, I think magic still exists, but I think just Gwen who that is tied to an alien thing. So yeah, Gwen could have just like knew magic, bro. Like they kind of turned her into like a what's the word, bro? I don't know. Like compared to other magic users, I'll be pissed if I have to fight Gwen. Like you were gifted your powers, nigga, and I have to work for my shit. Like yeah, but I agree. Kevin's development was rushed as hell, and should have been a slow burn over the course of Alien Force, and comes good by UA. Now that's like this one. Oh shit, this one is kind of like I don't know how to feel. I do agree with people saying that Kevin did become good too fast. I think if you're like, I don't think he should have been evil throughout Alien Force or like anything like that. I think he could have just remained like he could have been like their Red Hood essentially. He could what's the word? He could have just been an anti-hero, I guess, and then he becomes straight up good in Ultimate Alien. But then that's like a long, like I think after a while, bro, it would just be like you're doing more good than bad, bro. Like, are you really like? I think it becomes forced that they're trying to keep him a bad guy. So I think I don't really agree with this take. I just think it'd be too slow. I think maybe the first season he could have stayed in the middle and then teetered the line slowly through the season 2. Or maybe like became good by the end, but all the way up to Alien, Ultimate Alien, I can't agree with that. So I disagree. But this one I agree with. Julie should have been Ben's future wife instead of Kai. Like I said, I agree. They were endgame, no slight to Kai. I mean, when you think about it, would you rather put Ben with the fucking tennis sport girl or the fucking girl who goes finds artifacts for people? Kai was like really like an adventurer and explorer, like suited with Ben more, I guess. But I don't know. I think that's not a good reason to say fuck Julie. I think there would have been a good dynamic there. Superhero boyfriend who's famous, and then popular sports girl. I think it would have been a lot more interesting. Just to say that. Overall, my boy, you went 2 of 4. So, all right, takes, I guess. All right, we have our next take from Selena, calling the show mid. That's all she said. That's all they said. You're wrong. Next take we have from Shoe of Sin, saying the choice to make a series villain a single species gets kind of boring when Ben is fighting being aliens for the 12th time. I agree. Nothing against the DNA alien plot. Essentially, like I said, it gives us one of the best finales in the show, in the series period. But as for variety in action, I was tired of seeing Ben smack the same ugly green motherfuckers around for the 15th time in that season, and it really get a lot of variety fighting the same fodder. The storytelling is good, but yeah, I think what they kind of probably could have did was, I don't know if they could have did, honestly. I think it's one of the things you just have to like accept, because like I said, it gave us a good story. But the thing is, like, there's not really much you could probably do to change that, because who would he fight then? Unless they recruited, unless it was like a group of different species. And then again, it gets more complicated, and it's something. It's just sacrifice, bro. You get a good plot, so something has to suffer. But I agree with your take. Our second to last take come from Umgadi, saying Ben having character regression after defeating the hybrid wasn't all that bad since he was 15 and it got to his ego. He learned that his team was vital to him by the last episode, so I think the character regression was mostly an Ultimate Alien problem. Now this one is tough. This is going to make me think a little bit because while yes he is 15, Ben was shown to do a lot of growing. Now granted, I want to say this is his first official time saving the world. In classic he does a bunch of little shit oh, stop this time from being blown up or or Secret of the Omnitrix. He stops Vilgax, which I guess saves the world, but this is the time this is the first time where he concretely he stopped Ghost Freak. But I think on a scale of this big, essentially saving the world, even if he has evolved from all that, he's a lot more modest, mature. I think saving the world from a group of alien terrorists and then the universe now worshipping you essentially and you're a legend probably would still get to his head. So me personally, I don't mind Ben's sudden regression in character doesn't fully bother me until it starts showing up in places it doesn't. Your ego is big because you save the world, you get all these medals from across the universe. You're talking about the great Ben Tennyson. But that's not an excuse for you to treat Julie like shit. That's not an excuse for you to attack like you don't need Gwen and Kevin. That's when it becomes a problem. When he's just full of himself, but I don't mind it. But when it starts affecting people around him, that's when it gets on my nerves. I do agree that it's mostly an Ultimate Alien problem too, because that's really the most we see this character arc for him, and it gets worse because he's famous. I think he should have just got tired of it. Being famous is cooler. Shit, excuse me, damn. I'm not editing that up though. Being famous is it's cool, but I think he probably should have just got bored of it, because at that point, he's universally famous, then he becomes world famous. I think in a couple of those seasons, the later half of Ultimate Alien, they should just let the nigga just get over it, essentially. Good take. I agree. This is a good take. Those were all the hot takes for Ultimate Alien Force. We're gonna do Ultimate Alien next, but not for a while. Always, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your own hot takes down in the comment below. I'll read them. I would love to read them. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next upload. Hopefully, won't take fucking 5 years. But yeah, peace out.